Good evening. Tonight, we are pulling back the curtain on a massive controversy that has not only divided the British royal family but has completely fractured the global media and the military community. We aren't talking about a simple family dispute or a tabloid scandal anymore. We are talking about how a prince who served in the British Army for 10 years, with 2 official tours in Afghanistan, ended up becoming the ultimate target of criticism from his own brothers-in-arms and highest-ranking military authorities. The story we were sold was this: a hero who fought shoulder to shoulder with his troops, a man who left his royal titles behind to simply become Captain Wales. But is the reality as flawless as the shine on his medals? What do the stripped military titles, the uniform bands, and the deafening roar of anger from the armed forces following his own shocking confessions in his memoir truly tell us? Tonight, we are dissecting Prince Harry's military career. We are exposing the clash between royal privilege and military honor codes, the controversies surrounding his Apache pilot days, and how he alienated the very institution that made him a hero. We are backing this up with historical facts, military protocol, and the real voices of decorated veterans. Before we go any further, I need you to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Because what you are about to hear strips away the million-dollar PR campaigns to reveal what happens when royal privilege collides with the sacred, unwritten rules of the military. Ready? Let's proceed. To understand this story, we have to go back to the roots, his years at the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst. Just how normal can a prince be in the army? Did the system treat him as a soldier, or as a heavily guarded royal asset? When Harry's military career began in 2005, the British media was already eager to forge him an armor of heroism. But behind the scenes, an unprecedented security nightmare was unfolding between the Ministry of Defence and Buckingham Palace. In late 2007, Harry was deployed to Helmand Province, Afghanistan, as a forward air controller. The plan was meticulous: a strict global media blackout would be enforced. No one would know the prince was in a war zone. But in February 2008, an international media outlet broke the embargo. The prince's location was exposed. This didn't just put a target on Harry's back, it painted a massive bullseye on every single soldier serving alongside him. The Taliban could have redirected their entire operational force to capture or kill a British royal. The result? Harry was immediately and hastily extracted back to the UK. This was the first major fracture. Many military experts and veterans began to argue that Harry's presence on the battlefield, despite his personal willingness to fight, brought more operational vulnerability than tactical advantage. It wasn't his courage being questioned, it was the fact that deploying a royal inherently compromised the safety of the men on the ground. The era that truly defined Harry's warrior prince image was his second tour in 2012, serving as an Apache helicopter co-pilot and gunner based in Camp Bastion. This was the absolute peak of his military PR. But this period was far from immune to controversy. Military protocols dictate very specific rules for handling high-value targets. When Harry was strapped inside an Apache, one of the most advanced death machines on the planet, he was relatively secure in the sky. But the narrative on the ground was different. Critics have continually questioned whether his royal status fast-tracked his acceptance into the elite pilot training program. Did the grueling, unforgiving elimination system that regular soldiers endure apply with the same brutal strictness to the heir to the throne? More importantly, were Harry's operational assignments driven by genuine military necessity, or was the Ministry of Defence carefully orchestrating a controlled combat experience for the royal family? Whispers among commanders at the time suggested that his duties were heavily managed to keep him away from unacceptable risks, ensuring he got the combat veteran status without the unpredictable dangers faced by the regular infantry. Now we arrive at the eye of the storm, 2020. Harry's decision to step back from senior royal duties, infamously dubbed Megxit. This wasn't just a change of address to California, it was a seismic event that shook the foundations of the British military honor system. In British military tradition, honorary titles aren't just words on a page, they represent blood, loyalty, and an unbreakable bond with the regiment. Harry was stripped of his 3 beloved honorary military titles, including the prestigious Captain General of the Royal Marines. Why? Because the military rulebook is ruthless. You cannot be a part-time royal and hold full-time military honors. You are either in, or you are out. This rule was brutally enforced during the funerals of Queen Elizabeth II and later at King Charles's coronation. Harry was strictly forbidden from wearing his military uniform. Instead, he was forced to pin his legitimately earned operational medals, like his Afghanistan campaign medal, onto a civilian suit. This visual sparked a massive debate within the armed forces. Can someone who uses his years of service as a narrative tool for commercial deals and tell-all media interviews continue to wear the sacred cloth of the British military? And then came the moment the bridges were burned to ashes. The release of Harry's bombshell memoir, Spare. This book goes down in history as the exact moment the unwritten codes of military honor were publicly shattered. In the book, Harry casually revealed that he killed 25 Taliban fighters during his Afghanistan tours, stating he didn't view them as people, but as chess pieces removed from the board. These few sentences didn't just spark a diplomatic crisis, they sickened high-ranking officers and his former brothers-in-arms. There is a sacred, unwritten rule in the British Army, and militaries worldwide: a professional soldier never keeps a kill count, and they certainly never brag about it to the public. It is a betrayal of professionalism and the silent, solemn dignity of service. Former British Commander Colonel Richard Kemp publicly declared that Harry's comments tarnished the reputation of the British Army and created a severe security threat for British soldiers worldwide. Veteran associations released furious statements. The consensus was devastating. Harry was commercializing his military trauma and his combat stories for multimillion-dollar Netflix deals and book sales. To many veterans, this was a form of moral stolen valor, cashing in on the silent sacrifices of the men and women he left behind. So, what is the truth? We aren't talking about fabricated service records or fake, unearned medals. We are talking about a much deeper moral conflict. On one side, you have a man who spent 10 years in the army and deployed to a war zone. On the other side, you have a civilian who has turned his military reputation into the primary currency for highly lucrative commercial contracts, demanding to keep the honors of an institution whose rules he refuses to play by. For the military community, the greatest betrayal isn't wearing a fake medal, it's sacrificing the silent honor code of the Brotherhood on the altar of celebrity culture. Did Prince Harry squeeze every ounce of privilege out of the military system only to throw that same system under the bus? Or is he simply a veteran trying to process his trauma in the public eye? I am leaving that question to you. Scroll down to the comments right now and tell me exactly what you think. Has Harry monetized his military past beyond the point of return? If you found this investigation eye-opening, hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. Until our next deep dive, stay sharp and stay informed.